All right, boys and girls, this is topic 5. It should be 5 in your journals. And we are going to be multiplying 3 by 2-digit numbers. All right, in this video, I'm going to show you 3 strategies. And at the end, I'll have your turns. So that's where you'll do your own problems inside your journal. I'm going to show you 3 strategies. There are more strategies than that. These are the 3 I'll show you. If all 3 of these do not work for you, then talk to me in class and we'll find another strategy that will work for you. All right, the first thing you're going to write in your journal is the problem 451 times 10. After you've done that, I'll do it in another color. You're going to draw a box underneath it. You're going to cut it up into 6 pieces. I'm going to move it down a little bit because I'm going to write numbers on top. So that's the first thing you want to make sure, which Miss Bryant didn't do. Make sure you have room underneath your box or above your box and between your problem. All right, this breaks it down by your place value. So we're going to look at the 451 first. If I start with my largest place value, that's that 4. 4 is in the hundreds place, so I have 400 for that 4. It's just like when you expand. We're expanding that number. Then we're looking at the 5. That one's in the tens place, so I have 50. And then I'm going to take my 1. I only have 1 in that ones place, so I just have the 1. You're going to do the same thing for your 10. And in fact, I'll do it in a different color. My 10, the 1 is in the tens place, so 10 is going to look like this. I have 1 10 in my tens place, and I have 0 ones. So expanded form of that one is going to look like that. A 10 and then a 0. All right, so I'm going to kind of show you with my fingers what you do from there. You start in the hundreds box. So you would multiply, if you notice, if I cover up everything else, let me see about the piece of paper. If I covered up everything else, the only box I see are the 3 boxes on the top that have 450 and 1. Each of them have their own box. And the only number I see off to the side is that 10. So that means I'm going to multiply each of those numbers by this 10. So we'll start with 400. And you can do this on the side. You do not have to do it ever in your head. So I'll do it on the side. I'm going to take 400 and I'm going to multiply it by 10. Now the cool thing about multiplying zeros is I can just count my zeros. How many zeros do you see? I see 3. So 1, 2, 3. And 4 times 1 is 4. So 400 times 10 is 4,000. The next one I see is 50 times 10. On this one, I'll show you not the cheating way. Ones by ones, 0 times 0 is 0. Ones by tens, 0 times 5 is 0. I am done with my ones place, so I'm going to put an invisible 0. And now I'm in the tens place. Tens by ones, 1 times 0 is 0. Tens by tens, and when I'm saying by, I'm using that multiplication sign. Tens by tens is 1 times 5, which is 5. So that's where that's coming from. After that, you add them up. 0 plus 0, 0. 0 plus 0, 0. 5 plus nothing is 5. So 50 times 10 is 500. And the last one, we should all know this one. 1 times 10 is 10. Very good. Okay, so then we're done with the top boxes. So now we're on to the bottom one. Now, it's hard for me to cover it up, but what you would use is you're still going to use the numbers at the top, except you're no longer going to multiply them by the 10. You're now going to use the 0. So, in fact, you can put a little check mark because you're done with that 10. Make sense? You are on to the bottom row. So, the first one you're going to do is 400 times 0. That is 0. Then you're going to do 50 times 0. That also is 0. 1 times 0 is 0. And then after that, you add them up. So I'm going to do 4,000. You're adding up all what's in your boxes. So by looking at my color, I'm adding up all the red. 4,000. Make sure you line it up. 500. And then I have 10. If you are confused how to line it up, which I didn't do, always start from the ones place. So don't erase if you already have it. I'm just going to do it the way I would do it if I didn't know exactly where the numbers fall. So I'm starting again with 4,000. Excuse me. 500. 0 for the ones place. 0 for the tens place, and then there's a 5 in the hundreds place. The next number, 0 in the ones place, a 1 in the tens place. I do not need to add those zeros because do they give me any value? No, they do not. If you want, you can put 0, 0, 0 and add them up. All those zeros added up are still 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 5 is 5. And 4 plus nothing is 4. Now I know with place value, I group them in groups of 3, starting from the left. Ones, tens, hundreds, comma. We are now in the thousands. So the answer to 451 times 10 is 4,510. All right, that is the first one. Different problem I'm going to do. 125 times 65. Now with this strategy, you're going to break apart your red. So your 2-digit number in this case. I'm going to keep 125, and I'm going to write it again, because I know I have a ones place and a tens place. That means I'm going to do this twice. Now you're going to break apart this number. Break apart. A-P-A-R-T. Excuse my teeth. Starting with the 6. The 6 is in the tens place, so I know I have 60 there. 5 is in the ones place, so I know I have 5 there. And the cool thing about this is I'm going to take it a step further. When you do standard multiplication, when you multiply the standard way, 125 times 65, and in fact, I'll just use this one as our first standard problem. You're going to find out that these two numbers we get here should come out as our partial products down here before we add. All right, so we're going to start over here. 5 times 0, that's 1 by 1s, is 0. 1s by 10s, which is 0 times 2, is 0. 1s by the hundreds place, 0 times 1 is 0. I'm done with the 0, so I'm going to put a placeholder 0. 6 times 5 is 30. I need my 3 still, so that was in the ones place. I'm going to now put it above the tens place. Multiplying my tens. Tens by tens is 6 times 2, which is 12, plus the 3 is 15. 5 is down there. I still have a number to put it up above over here. 6, which is in my tens place, times 1, which is in the hundreds place, is 6, plus that 1 up there is 7. You're going to then add it all up. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 0 is 0 again. 5 plus 0 is 5. And 7 plus nothing is 7. The next one. 5 times 5 is 25. Carry your 2. 5 times 2 is 10, plus your 2 is 12. You still need that 1 up there. 5 times 1 is 5, plus that 1 is 6. So now you have these two answers right here. What do you think you're going to do with them? If you said add them up, you are correct. So I'm going to take this number here, and I'm going to take this number here, start at the ones place if you don't know how to line it up, 5, 2, 6, and we are going to add them up. 5 plus 0 is 5, 0 plus 2 is 2, 5 plus 6 is 11, carry the 1, 7 plus 1 is 8. 8,125. Now watch what I'm saying about partial products. Let's scoot over a bit. See, blue. 5 times 5, here goes the standard way to multiply 3 by 2 digits. 5 times 5 is 25. 5 times 2 is 10, plus the 2 up there is a 12. Carry my 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus the 1 is 6. Now I'm going to stop right there. If you look over here, when we broke down each place value, there's my 625. This is called a partial product. Partial product. Now what a partial product means is kind of exactly how it sounds. The product is the answer, remember that, product is the answer to a multiplication problem. Oops, I connected it. And if you have part of your answer, just glare. Give me 1 second. Oh, it's from the light up there. If you have half of your answer, let me lift it. There we go. This is not our final answer. So if it's not final, it's a piece of it because we still need it. So that's where that partial comes from. This is that piece. Kind of cool to see how it breaks it down. So then we're done with that one. So now in this next line, we should come out with 7,500. So I'm done with the 5. Here's my placeholder, 0. 6 times 5 is 30. 0's down here. 3's up there. 6 times 2 is 12. Plus the 3 is 15. 1 goes up there. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus the 1 I just carried in red is 7. Do we match? We're looking good. This is the other partial product. Every time you have a number in the middle here to add, that is called a partial product. It's not your answer just yet, but you need it. You need this number to get your answer. So now we do that final step, which is to add. 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 0 is 2. 6 plus 5 is 11. Carry the 1. 6 plus 1 is 8.
September 21st, after the season premiere of The Voice on NBC.
Are you sure you want to do this? Yes, I've never been more sure about anything in my life. We need to teach our
Excuse me, boys and girls.
of taking a stand.
TV turned on by itself. All right, do you understand that? So here is my product. Do you see, let me do another color. Let's do green, we haven't used it. How we're coming out with the same answer. Very good. All right, now I'm just going to write down 3 problems. And I want you to pick one of the strategies to solve it. You may also model draw. We've been talking about model drawing in the classroom. You may also model draw to show me how to solve that problem. Up to you. Model drawing is really good for word problems. But if you like to model draw, since I don't have a word problem right here, you can still do that. All right, let's get you some problems. First one. I'm going to put this as your turn, since I've done that on the other videos. First one you're going to do is 682 times 25. That's the first one. Second one. Let's do 324 times 71. Last one, 154 times 75. Thank you, boys and girls, for watching this video, and I will see you in class.